Today, we will be discussing Gandalf, one of the most complex but beloved characters in all of Tolkien's works. But who is he really? In this video, we'll look into his fascinating origins as a Maiar of Manwe and the purpose behind his arrival to Middle-earth. Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. My name is Seth and I'm excited to share with you some well-earned comforts. Before we begin our discussion today, I ask that you like, comment, and subscribe down below. It'll really help as we grow this channel. Also, don't forget to check out our podcast. Just search Well-Earned Comforts wherever you listen. As we dive into the works of Tolkien, there's no telling where we'll be swept off to. As we look into the origins of Gandalf, we begin our discussion in Valinor, the Blessed Realm, which is located in the uttermost west. In the Valaquenta, which stands for Account of the Valar, and is located at the beginning of the Silmarillion, we learn that Olorin was a Maiar, one of the higher beings, who came to Arda to assist the Valar in maintaining the world. Being a Maiar, Olorin belonged to the same order as beings like Sauron and Saruman, yet he was considered the wisest of them all. His dwelling was in Valimar, the capital city of Valinor, and often walked among the elves, unseen or even disguised as one of them. And Tolkien even says that the elves did not know whence came the fair visions or promptings of wisdom he put into their hearts. Though Olorin was a Maiar in the service of Manwe, he learned much from Nienna, the Vala associated with compassion and empathy. Olorin sought guidance and counsel from Nienna, and she imparted to him her wisdom, and especially in the areas of empathy, pity, and understanding the trials of the world. This tutelage unknowingly prepared Olorin for his commission in Middle-earth. As the power of Sauron began to grow again during the Third Age, Olorin was sent to Middle-earth as one of the 5 Istari, whose purpose was to contend with the devices of Sauron. Being the wisest, he understood the might of Sauron, and he feared him. Olorin did not believe he was powerful enough to contend with the will of Sauron. Because of this, he was reluctant to leave Valinor. But Manwe, king of the Valar, declared that Olorin's abilities were needed, and his fear was even more of a reason to go. And with that, Olorin left Valinor and landed at the Grey Havens in Middle-earth. Though the exact order and dates of arrival of all the Istari are unclear, it is thought that Olorin was preceded by Saruman, Radagast, and the 2 blue wizards, Alatar and Palando, whom we know little about. Upon Olorin's arrival to the Grey Havens, Círdan the Shipwright immediately perceived his wisdom and his power. Thus he felt compelled to give Narya the Ring of Fire to Gandalf. Now take this ring for thy labors, and thy cares will be heavy, but in all it will support thee and defend thee from weariness, for this is the Ring of Fire, and herewith, maybe, thou shalt rekindle the hearts to the valor of old in a world that grows chill. And with that, Gandalf was bestowed one of the 3 elven rings of power, and it was known only to a few who had possessed this ring. Gandalf took the appearance of an old and aged man, with long white hair and beard. He had kind but piercing eyes, and he was dressed as a wanderer who relied heavily upon his staff. Yet to the wise and to those whom he befriended, he was known as the greatest mover of deeds during the Third Age. Gandalf was a vagabond and did not abide long in one place. Rather, he traveled Middle-earth, gaining knowledge, providing counsel, and inhibiting Sauron with every opportunity. His success came through his ability to encourage and counsel and kindle the hearts of the free peoples of Middle-earth, rather than directly from his powers as an Istari. The Istari were deliberately constrained in their use of power by the Valar. They were sent as wizards or wise ones in the form of old men in order to better understand and relate to the mortal races of Middle-earth. Their primary task was to influence and counsel rather than to directly employ their inherent abilities to dominate or solve problems through force. By limiting their use of magic, the Istari were meant to encourage the peoples of Middle-earth to rely on their own strength, resolve, and wisdom in facing the challenges that they encountered. They were intended to be guides and mentors rather than all-powerful beings who could simply solve the problems of Middle-earth with their enhanced abilities. Unfortunately, only one Istari remained true to this purpose. During his time in Middle-earth, Gandalf traveled under many names. When speaking to Frodo at Henneth-Annwn, Faramir recounts a conversation he once had with Gandalf during one of Gandalf's many trips to the White City. "Many are my names in many countries. Mithrandir among the elves, Tharkun to the dwarves. Olorin I was in my youth in the west, that is forgotten. In the south, in Canis. In the north, Gandalf. To the east I do not go. This resulted in only a few knowing his true nature and purpose. Círdan, who gave him the ring Narya, Elrond and Galadriel, who were both part of the White Council and bore elven rings of power themselves, Aragorn, whom Gandalf told directly, and Gwaihir, Lord of the Eagles, who was a frequent companion of Gandalf's. Though Gandalf didn't often reveal his abilities, the wise knew that his unseen power was great. During his time as Gandalf the Grey, he played a vital role in opposing Sauron and inspiring hope among the free peoples of Middle-earth. But it was really during his time as Gandalf the White that he truly became a symbol of hope and renewal. With his enhanced power and unwavering determination, he contributed to the defeat of Sauron in the final battles. Although this video doesn't touch upon each accomplishment of Gandalf during his time as an Istari on Middle-earth, we recognize how he exemplified the wisdom, the courage, the selflessness, and the divine ability to unite the free peoples of Middle-earth. As his labors came to an end, Gandalf boarded the last white ship to set sail into the west. With him went Nenya and Vilya, the other rings of power, and their bearers, but also the two bearers of the One Ring. As Gandalf sailed into the west, he left behind a Middle-earth that was free of Sauron and the rightful king on the throne of Gondor. And with that, the end of the story for one of Tolkien's most beloved characters. As this video comes to a close, I ask that if you enjoyed these well-earned comforts, to please light a beacon by sharing with friends and family. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Let me know what your favorite Gandalf moment is. Also, make sure to check out our podcast by searching Well-Earned Comforts wherever you listen. I thank you for staying with me until the end, and I bid you all a very fond farewell.